It was a prison break that caught the world's attention, and tonight new details are emerging about that audacious escape from a Quebec prison.
It was a spectacular escape that made headlines around the world. Happened almost 3 years ago to the day. It happened at the Saint-Jérôme Detention Center, and today, video taken by prison guards show what happened.
From miraculous escapes to once-in-a-lifetime natural events, the internet is filled with unbelievable moments. Imagine a stranger performing a death-defying rescue just in time or nature, putting on a show straight out of a science fiction movie. These jaw-dropping, heart-pounding events are so incredible that you wouldn't believe them if they were not filmed. What makes these moments so extraordinary? And how did someone manage to capture them on film at just the right time? Join us on a roller coaster ride through 20 moments you wouldn't believe if they were not caught on camera. Number 20. Galloping crocodiles. Imagine encountering a galloping crocodile. Just when you thought nature couldn't surprise you anymore, videos like this come up, leaving you wondering what else you haven't seen. People used to believe they could outrun crocodiles because they were known for being strong but slow. However, that's no longer the case. Crocodiles have learned to gallop and hop like dogs, making them faster and stronger than expected. So beware and stay cautious around these unexpected sprinters. Number 19. St. Jerome Prison Break. On March 17, 2013, Benjamin Udon, Barbo, and Danny Pomasal orchestrated what would become one of the most daring prison escapes ever captured on camera. All three were serving sentences at St. Jerome Prison in Quebec, Canada. Their bold plan unfolded when their accomplices, 23-year-old Stephen Marquisio, and another man, commandeered a helicopter, coercing the pilot to land on the prison's roof. With the helicopter hovering above, a rope was lowered to Ben and Danny in the prison yard. Like characters from a spy thriller, the inmates swiftly scaled the roof, captured on security cameras from various angles around the prison. Despite their determined efforts, they struggled to hoist themselves over the roof's edge. Attempts were made to lift both men onto the roof using the helicopter, but the pilot's nerves caused instability, forcing one of the prisoners to slip back down the rope. After numerous failed attempts and tense exchanges, they abandoned their initial plan to climb and pivoted to Plan B. This desperate move involved the helicopter whisking them away, akin to a scene reminiscent of James Bond evading capture. Despite their tenacity in clinging to the rope, their escape bid was ultimately foiled as police apprehended them a few hours later. Number 18. Road Rage Drama. Zibo City, located in Shandong Province, China, is a bustling urban area classified as a prefecture-level metro. It boasts a population of approximately 3.1 million within its city limits, with an additional million residing in the outskirts. The city is famous for proudly claiming to be the birthplace of soccer, although this assertion is disputed by many football enthusiasts, especially in the UK. However, on December 3, 2022, Zibo City captured global attention for a different reason. It seemed to have become ground zero for a spectacular display of road rage. A dramatic incident unfolded at a railroad crossing involving a black SUV and a dump truck, with a fast-approaching train adding to the intense atmosphere. The sequence of events baffled viewers worldwide. As the train approached, the dump truck unexpectedly surged forward, forcing the SUV onto the tracks. Perplexed rail workers raised the crossing arms to allow passage, but the vehicles suddenly stopped midway. Adding to the confusion, the truck reversed, dragging the crossing arm back. The situation escalated further when the occupants of the SUV exited their vehicle, leaving observers questioning why they didn't drive clear of the impending danger. In a heart-pounding moment captured on video, the SUV narrowly avoided collision by accelerating just moments before the train passed, missing it by mere inches. The truck driver later claimed brake failure, but suspicions were raised online, suggesting possible foul play, especially since the brakes miraculously appeared to function perfectly after the vehicle reversed. The incident sparked widespread debate, with some suggesting it resembled an attempted insurance fraud rather than a mere accident. Number 17. Rapid Inferno. Bushfires in Australia are serious, much like the wildfires in California. The Dunmore Rural Fire Brigade in New South Wales can attest to this firsthand. As temperatures rise and the land dries out, Australian bushfires become exceedingly dangerous and deadly. To highlight this reality, the fire brigade shared alarming dashcam footage that vividly demonstrates how rapidly these fires can escalate. The footage captures a tranquil rural scene that swiftly transforms into a nightmarish inferno in less than 3 minutes on January 4, 2020. Initially, the brigade was stationed to protect properties ahead of an approaching southerly wind, a factor that would worsen the fire's spread. At the video's outset, conditions seemed relatively calm. Crews were diligently inspecting homes and awaiting supplies. However, within a minute, the wind intensified dramatically, marking a pivotal shift in the situation. While most of the brigade hurriedly retreated to safety, one truck remained behind, capturing the unfolding chaos in its entirety. Wind speeds soared to approximately 62 miles per hour, and within just 2 minutes, the landscape became engulfed in a scene resembling a hellish nightmare. As minutes ticked by, the fire surged across roads, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Inside their truck, firefighters activated a built-in cab spray, dousing the surroundings with water to shield themselves and their equipment from the encroaching flames, a critical safety measure. Moments later, the worst of the blaze passed, but the visual aftermath underscored the gravity of the situation. Less than 10 minutes prior, the same road had been a peaceful rural route. Fortunately, everyone escaped unharmed, but the footage serves as a reminder of the speed and ferocity with which bushfires can spread, leaving those in their path feeling utterly powerless in the face of such a dangerous threat. Number 16. Nakhon Si Thammarat's crane mishap. On the Malay Peninsula, approximately an hour's flight south of Bangkok, lies Nakhon Si Thammarat, an ancient municipality renowned for its exquisite Buddhist temples. Despite their sacred stature, even these revered structures require periodic renovations. In August 2020, officials overseeing an aging temple enlisted a contractor to dismantle its structure. As reported by the Bangkok Herald, they had already allocated 3 million Thai baht, about $80,000, for a new temple nearby. However, the dismantling process encountered unexpected complications. The crane operator made a critical misjudgment of the crane's position, resulting in a collision with the temple's 50-foot smokestack. Although initially appearing minor, the impact dislodged several bricks. Moments later, the lower section collapsed, and the smokestack descended like a felled tree. Before the incident was captured on camera, a worker had secured a hook to the smokestack. The collapse exerted such force that it dragged the crane downward. Witnessing the calamity, monks watched in dismay as the crane arm plunged through the sacred crematorium. Fortunately, no injuries were reported among those present. Following the incident, local beliefs intertwined with the event. Some attributed the mishap to restless spirits, disapproving of a disturbance at their final resting place. Across the province, residents claimed to hear echoes of what seemed like the anguished cries of departed souls. Number 15. Rawberg Beach's bizarre phenomenon. Imagine heading to the beach for a relaxing day. You're enjoying the scenery, perhaps snapping some beautiful photos or just taking in the fresh sea breeze. Then, suddenly, you encounter something straight out of a B-grade horror movie. Hundreds of thousands of mussels covering the entire shore. This eerie sight is exactly what visitors experienced at Rawberg Beach in South Africa back in December 2014. Immediately, scientists issued a warning. Under no circumstances should anyone consume these mussels. The concern arose from the possibility that a toxic red tide, a harmful algae bloom, might have caused such a massive mussel die-off. However, experts swiftly dismissed this explanation. Interestingly, a similar incident had occurred at the same location just a year earlier, prompting researchers to seek another explanation. They concluded that the abundance of mollusks washed ashore was likely due to powerful ocean currents. Mussels often tightly cling to rocks in large clusters, and when strong waves hit, they can dislodge these clusters and deposit them en masse onto the beach. This phenomenon also explains why many of the mussels were still alive upon discovery. Another theory suggests that some mussels could have been inadvertently attached to ropes commonly used in octopus aquaculture. Although speculative, there have been instances of mussels found clinging to ropes and black plastic boxes similar to those used in the farming of octopuses. Both theories hold merit, highlighting the complex ways in which the world's oceans occasionally deposit marine life onto shorelines. Understanding these phenomena can be challenging yet fascinating, shedding light on the intricate workings of our marine ecosystems. Number 14. A costly DIY lesson. Brighton, Massachusetts, nestled about 20 minutes west of downtown Boston, endured a harsh winter in 2009, blanketing New England with 11 inches of snow following a fierce December storm. Just before Christmas, a lakeside family seized the opportunity to fell a towering 70-foot elm tree from their front yard. Their aim? To let it gracefully descend onto the frozen lake hidden beneath the snow. However, their confidence in a DIY approach soon met reality. Despite the tree's dangerous proximity to their home, the family opted against professional assistance. With each additional cut made by their determined patriarch, the suspense grew. Then disaster struck. The tree veered off course and crashed into their porch, leaving a costly trail of damage in its wake. The subsequent repairs likely exceeded the prudent investment in professional tree removal services. Curious about the cost of tree removal in Boston? It varies widely based on factors like tree type and the complexity of the task. For straightforward jobs, prices start around $300, while more intricate operations can soar to about $1,500. Especially if the tree risks power lines or nearby structures. Given the tree's proximity to the lake, the family might have saved on removal costs. But the lesson remains clear. When in doubt, always entrust such tasks to the experts. Number 13. Can opener bridge. It's not just highway signs that trucks have a knack for colliding with. In Durham, North Carolina, there's a notorious bridge known as the Norfolk Southern Gregson Street Overpass, affectionately nicknamed the Can Opener by locals. Here's why. This bridge, built in the 1920s, boasts a clearance of 11 feet 8 inches. Back then, this height was standard. However, when the standard increased to 14 feet in 1973 to accommodate larger trucks, older bridges like this one were left unchanged. Most truckers are accustomed to newer, taller bridges. Yet, the Can Opener Bridge has remained a challenge, claiming roughly 1 victim per month from 2008 to 2019. In response to the frequent collisions, North Carolina authorities finally raised the bridge by 8 inches in October 2019, bringing the clearance to 12 feet 4 inches. Despite this adjustment, it still poses a risk to unaware truckers. Jürgen Henn, who works nearby, took action by installing multiple cameras around the bridge to capture these frequent crashes. His efforts led to the creation of the popular website 11foot8, which documents every collision between trucks and the bridge. Needless to say, the site has amassed a substantial amount of content over the years. Number 12. Marvels of the Qiantang River. In the realm of our planet's peculiar water phenomena, China's Qiantang River takes the spotlight with its fascinating fish scale tide, a natural spectacle first observed in 2021. The name aptly describes the tide's appearance, a series of spiral waves resembling the scales of fish. But how does this phenomenon unfold? It all hinges on specific conditions aligning perfectly. Rotating currents that shift direction precisely during high tide. These currents intersect at angles, creating the distinct scale-like pattern seen on the river's surface. While scientists continue to debate its exact origins, two prevailing theories offer insights. One attributes the fish scale tide to the interplay of celestial forces like the moon and sun, geography, including the river's shape, and wind patterns. Another theory emphasizes the role of dynamic currents that oscillate during tidal cycles, influencing wave formations in a way that mimics scales. Interestingly, detailed information about the fish scale tide remains somewhat elusive, hinting at its potential classification or limited documentation within Chinese sources. However, amidst this natural marvel, another captivating sight emerges: tidal trees. Found in the same region, these formations are not botanical, but rather ephemeral patterns etched into the riverbed during cold December weather. As freezing temperatures solidify the muddy and sandy banks, incoming tides sweep away sediment, sculpting tree-like shapes that appear remarkably lifelike. To witness tidal trees in action, certain conditions must be met: soft, easily eroded tidal flats, abundant with sediment, and the powerful force of high tides eroding sediment, forming trunks and branches reminiscent of trees. Although theoretically possible on any river, the fleeting nature of tidal trees makes their sighting on the Qiantang River a stroke of luck. As quickly as they form with the tide's retreat, they vanish with the sun's warmth, melting the icy formations within minutes. Both the fish scale tide and tidal trees underscore the unpredictable and enchanting interactions between water, land, and weather, a symbol of nature's artistic prowess and the mysteries that still beguile scientific inquiry. Number 11. A close encounter with nature's power. About 60 miles south of Anchorage, Alaska, nestled within the breathtaking Chugach National Forest, stands Spencer Glacier, a towering ice formation stretching 3,500 feet high. This ancient glacier carves a majestic path through the forest, casting its imposing presence over Spencer Lake below. It's a haven for outdoor enthusiasts seeking a quintessential Alaskan adventure, offering opportunities for hiking, kayaking, and camping amidst pristine natural beauty. In August of 2019, Andrew Hooper and his friend embarked on a kayaking excursion from the Kenai Peninsula, aiming to witness Spencer Glacier up close. Despite warnings from his wife to maintain a safe distance, Andrew found himself unexpectedly drenched when the glacier's arch began to crack and collapse. Anticipating the spectacle, Andrew and his friend positioned themselves to capture the unfolding drama. As the arch disintegrated, small trunks of ice plunged into the water, followed by larger chunks, sending frigid waves crashing around them. The forceful impact of the collapsing glacier created tsunami-like waves, causing Andrew's kayak to swerve dangerously. Upon safely returning to shore, Andrew recounted the awe-inspiring event to reporters from the Anchorage Daily News, describing the raw power and beauty of witnessing the glacier's collapse firsthand. Reflecting on the experience, Andrew conceded they had ventured too close, a moment of realization that echoed his wife's earlier cautionary words. Number 10. Hot air balloon. Mishap. In Rock County, Wisconsin, a hot air balloon pilot had a dramatic landing mishap that caught everyone's attention. As the balloon descended into an open field, strong winds complicated the pilot's efforts to steer. The basket struck the ground and tipped over, briefly dragging passengers along. Janesville, a charming city in Rock County, Wisconsin, is often dubbed Wisconsin's Park Place for its extensive parklands spanning 2,590 acres. Despite ample open space, the hot air balloon pilot struggled to find a suitable landing spot. Nearby friends, enjoying a day by the tennis courts, spotted the balloon's attempted descent and decided to capture the unusual sight on video. What unfolded next amazed these onlookers. Intrigued, they moved closer to observe but were quickly warned to keep their distance. According to reports from the fire department, the balloon's owner typically lands in Bond Park, but this time misjudged the approach. Attempting to avoid power lines, the balloon unfortunately collided with them, resulting in a burst that caused a power outage on Janesville's west side. Despite the chaos, the passengers emerged unscathed from the basket, averting any risk of electrocution. Thankfully, power was swiftly restored once the balloon was safely removed. This incident left the community with a memorable story of unexpected adventure and the importance of cautious navigation in aerial pursuits. Number 9. Sink or swim. Lake Don Pedro, nestled in central California, is a favorite retreat for locals seeking respite from the heat. With its sprawling 160 miles of shoreline and 13,000 acres of water, the lake offers ample space for boating, fishing, and summer fun. However, in the summer of 2019, the lake became an unexpected venue for a thrilling poker tournament that captivated everyone's attention. Picture this. Instead of the usual boating and fishing, the lake was buzzing with a unique poker scavenger hunt. Participants crisscrossed the lake, deciphering clues and hunting down hidden poker chips. Each chip found earned them a card at designated check-in stations scattered around the shore. The objective? To assemble the best possible 5-card poker hand and claim victory. One such check-in station was a houseboat, which became a focal point of the tournament's drama. As eager players converged to exchange their chips for cards, the houseboat soon found itself overwhelmed. The weight and movement of the crowd caused a commotion, unnoticed by those on the boat's upper deck until it was too late. The houseboat began to sink. Panic ensued as deck chairs slid and toppled into the water, prompting a swift evacuation to shore. Fortunately, quick reactions ensured that everyone escaped unharmed before the houseboat submerged completely. Authorities later determined that the owner was responsible for salvaging the sunken vessel, likely a task requiring robust houseboat insurance. Number 8. Floating islands. Have you ever heard of an island that needs to be regularly moved around using boats? It's not some tourist attraction. It's a completely natural wonder. Lake Chippewa came into existence after a substantial swamp was flooded, triggering the emergence of numerous peat bogs to the surface. These bogs became perfect spots for wind and birds to scatter plant seeds. Over time, diverse plants, from grasses to trees, took root, forming floating islands. The largest of these islands is now covered with mature trees. Nearly every year, local boat owners band together to push this island away from a bridge connecting the lake's east and west sides. It's crucial to keep this passage clear for everyone's convenience. This island isn't just a random piece of land on an adventure. It's essentially a massive floating bog. Many believe these bogs float because the peat soil beneath them releases gases as it decomposes. Despite this, they can support trees and even people, making them capable of colliding with structures like bridges, causing significant issues. Nature didn't just create floating bogs, it crafted them into almost perfectly round shapes. Take Loktak Lake, the largest freshwater lake in northeast India, for example. Here, you'll find extraordinary floating islands called fumdis. These circular formations consist of a mix of vegetation, soil, and organic materials that have melded together into a relatively solid mass. Similar to icebergs, much of the island's bulk resides beneath the water's surface. In the dry season, when the lake's water level recedes, the roots of plants on the fumdis can extend down to the lake bed. This allows them to directly absorb essential nutrients from the lake's depths, ensuring their survival even as conditions fluctuate. Nature's ingenuity is truly showcased in these floating islands, where ecological balance and adaptability reign supreme. Number 7. Stolen trust. The rise of door-to-door delivery services has been a boon, especially during recent global challenges. However, placing trust in strangers can sometimes lead to unexpected consequences. In January 2021, a shocking incident unfolded when a DoorDash driver was caught on security camera stealing a 9-week-old American bully puppy named Belle from a customer's porch. Upon returning home to find Belle missing, the customer reviewed the security footage, only to discover the unsettling truth. The delivery person, who was not an authorized employee, had taken Belle. Fortunately, swift action by authorities ensured Belle's safe return to her family, while the suspect faced serious charges. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the potential risks involved in relying on unfamiliar individuals, even in seemingly routine transactions. It underscores the importance of vigilance and caution when interacting with strangers, particularly in situations where personal belongings and security are at stake. Number 6. Jackson Township's Bear Whisperer. Bears might be the last thing you'd expect in New Jersey, but in Jackson Township, there's a famous black bear that's quite handy with doors. In November 2021, Susan Kehoe, a local bear advocate, had a surprising encounter when she opened her front door and found a massive black bear lounging on her porch. Instead of panicking, Susan remained composed and calmly requested the bear to close the door behind it. It's crucial to remember that bears can pose a significant danger. If you encounter one at your door, the safest action is to promptly close it without engaging with the bear or inviting it inside. Susan, however, seems to have a unique rapport with local black bears. Her history includes several noteworthy interactions. In 2010, she faced legal consequences for obstructing state biologists attempting to tranquilize a bear and adjust its tracking collar. 2 years later, she was accused of intentionally feeding black bears, although she was ultimately acquitted. Her actions skirted New Jersey's strict laws against feeding bears, which carries hefty fines of up to $1,000. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The sun was setting, casting an orange hue across the bustling beach. Families picnicked, children built sand castles, and surfers rode the last waves of the day. Jenna wandered through the crowd, savoring the lively atmosphere until something peculiar caught her eye. Strewn across the sand, amidst the beachgoers, were dozens of strange, shrimp-like creatures, their iridescent shells shimmering. Each creature was about the size of her hand, with translucent bodies and pulsating veins of neon blue light. Jenna's pulse quickened as she approached. She had never seen anything like them before. Quickly, she grabbed her phone and began recording, capturing the alien-like spectacle. The creatures seemed to respond to her presence, their lights flickering rhythmically as if communicating. Jenna uploaded the video to her social media, captioning it, "It would be impossible to prove if it wasn't caught on camera." Almost immediately, her phone exploded with notifications. Beachgoers gathered around, their astonished murmurs adding to the excitement. Marine biologists, curious onlookers, and conspiracy theorists alike were all captivated by the footage. As she continued filming, one of the creatures wriggled closer to the water, leaving a phosphorescent trail behind. In a synchronized wave, the rest followed, disappearing back into the ocean depths. Jenna stood there, phone in hand, knowing she had witnessed something extraordinary. The video would become legendary, but nothing could compare to the awe of that moment. Number 5. The Hippo's Charge. African safaris draw visitors from across the globe eager to witness animals in their natural habitats. Yet, these encounters come with risks, as one couple learned firsthand during a safari in Kenya in 2018. As their tour boat glided past a tranquil Kenyan lake, they spotted a family of 3 hippos relaxing in the water. Intrigued, they turned their attention towards the hippos, unaware of the potential danger lurking beneath the surface. However, the peaceful scene took a sudden turn when one of the hippos took offense to the tourists' proximity and charged towards their boat. Hippos are notorious for their aggressiveness and rank among the deadliest animals globally, claiming approximately 500 lives annually, far more than the African big cats. Fortunately, the tour boat's swift maneuvering allowed it to outpace the charging hippo, averting a potentially dangerous encounter. Number 4. Three-horned cows. Introducing the three-horned cow, a truly remarkable sight. At first glance, you might doubt the authenticity of this video, but fear not, this peculiar creature is genuine. Originating from Uganda, the Ankole cow is known for its unique feature: 3 horns. Its appearance has drawn comparisons to the Triceratops, stirring thoughts of ancient dinosaurs. Through diligent research, experts from the Ankole Cattle Breeder Society have verified the video's authenticity, putting to rest any skepticism about its legitimacy. These magnificent animals have roamed Uganda's landscapes for centuries, brought by nomadic pastoralists seeking fertile grazing grounds. Number 3. Deceptive coincidences. Coincidence can be quite intriguing. Take this street camera footage, for instance. It captures a man and a woman crossing paths. The man, holding a child who appears distressed at first, eventually calms down. Shortly after, the woman, carrying bags, accidentally spills what initially looks like blood. This led to speculation that 2 serious crimes, kidnapping and murder, were unfolding right in front of the camera. But upon closer investigation, the truth emerged. The man turned out to be the child's father, managing a tantrum and not committing a crime. Meanwhile, the woman's spilled substance was oil, not blood. This incident serves as a powerful reminder that first impressions can often be deceiving, especially in complex and quickly unfolding situations. Number 2. A heroic rescue. In Anton, Ecuador, a construction crew was busy working on an irrigation channel when an urgent call came over their radio. A distressed dog was trapped in the water and unable to escape. Abel Murillo, a local worker, quickly devised a plan to rescue the stranded pup. He climbed into the bucket of a backhoe and was gently lowered into the water. With careful timing and determination, he located the dog and safely brought her back to dry land. Following the successful rescue, the compassionate crew members rallied together to raise funds for the dog's medical care. They took her to a veterinarian, where she received treatment for inflammation and an infection. Thankfully, the dog recovered fully from her ordeal. According to reports, the dog had been walking along the channel when she was unexpectedly swept away by the swift current. Abel's timely intervention in the backhoe bucket proved to be her saving grace. Afterward, the grateful dog remained near the construction site for several days, perhaps showing her appreciation to those who had come to her aid. Number 1. Privacy cat. Everyone cherishes privacy, even cats. Take Manuel, the palace cat, for example, a majestic wild feline with long, dense gray fur. Like all cats, despite their ferocity, their cuteness is irresistible. Manuel, in particular, displayed a blend of curiosity and annoyance when confronted by a camera invading his space. It was both adorable and amusing to watch him cautiously approach the camera, inspecting it closely before gracefully retreating out of its sight. These palace cats, also known as Persian leopards, roam the shrublands and mountains across regions like the Caucasus, Iranian Plateau, Hindu Kush, parts of the Himalayas, Tibetan Plateau, Altai-Sayan region, and South Siberian mountains. Sadly, their numbers are dwindling due to poaching and habitat destruction. Conservation efforts are underway, but their status remains precarious, with these majestic cats still listed as endangered. Which of these moments do you find most intriguing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.